who the great mouse did marry.
The voice of Ethiopia.
Tell me, have you ever known people who knew exactly how wonderful they themselves were?
I love me already.
When you stop to think about it, these persons must have a hard time finding other humans smart enough and lovely enough to keep company with them, who are so intelligent and grand themselves. It is hard to believe, but this kind of people is nothing new.
It's hard to be so wonderful.
Listen now to the voice of Ethiopia, who knows how it was when humans were not the only creatures with people troubles. Once in our land was born a handsome white mouse. Handsome, did I say? Lovely, said his own mouse mother. His father looked down and cleared his throat about the house. His dad said, strong, more brave and tall than any other.
Fantastica!
His mother looked down into the crib at her son and worried. Where can we ever find a wife as beautiful a creature as he?
How can it be done? He's much too wonderful.
He was not grown, of course. The family wished he would hurry. It would not be a picnic matching this exceptional mouse with an exceptional lady. The time came, as it has a way of doing, when the mouse was full grown. White was he, and bulging with muscles. He was the tallest of mice. As the custom was, 3 elders went to where God lives alone, so that they could tell him of the coming wedding and ask his advice. God opened up and asked, "What are you doing standing at the door?" "We are the people from the family of the white mouse on earth." "Most likely," they smiled up at God, "you have heard of him before. A wife is needed now, and your family naturally is the only one of worth." "What grand thinking!" God smiled as he looked down. "How true it is that the white mouse must have a wife good enough for him. Unfortunately, we here are all wrong for him. Wrong house, wrong town. The family of the wind, they are the ones who are great enough for him." "It is hard to believe," the elder said, "that the wind is higher than you." "It seems that way, doesn't it?" God said, and gave a little laugh. "But the wind is wild when it gets to blowing, and a little nasty too. Gets dust in my eyes and makes me cry. Now that is the family you should have." "The wind?" The old folks frowned. "Where does his family live?" God smiled again and gave directions to where the wind had his house. When the place came into sight, they all giggled to think of the daughter the wind could give. "Who in the world is at my door?" "Messengers from the fine white mouse." The wind said at first, while he gave everything some very slow thought. "Yes," the wind said second. "A first-rate idea, but you have come to the wrong door. When it comes to throwing dust and even pulling out trees, I am the best. But I am caught and held helpless by the mountain. He stays right where he is at while I am blowing until my throat is sore. Oh, the old mice said together, all of them looking at the ground. Tell us then, they asked, looking up again, whereabouts does the mountain stay? The mighty wind called out the way, where to turn and how to go down.
I love you already.
They arrived and soon heard his rumbling voice.
What are you doing standing at my doorway?
And inside they came, when the mountain waved them in and talked as people did back then. What is the news? How are the cattle coming along? The children, too? By and by, the crickety mice gradually came around to telling about the family that sent them, and the handsome white mouse, and his need for a lovely wife. Great mountain, we come to you. The mountain sat a little higher, then answered in a serious tone, quite right. A lovely creature, like your white mouse, deserves the best. It is sad to say, but that is not me. I am being eaten to the bone by creatures much, much stronger than I. Who they are, I suppose you have guessed. Who? Night and day these great hole makers dig into my bottom, make tunnels through my middle, until one day I will crumble into dirt. All three smiled to the ears and sang out all at once, "You have them, the very creatures to give a noble match to our matchless mouse and make an end to our search."
I love you already.
Where can we find the home of the ones who hold this power? The mountain showed the way. They were animals called mice, who lived down below. And a mouse answered, "What are you doing at the door at this hour?" And they spoke of the white mouse whose beautiful wife must be particularly just so.
I love you already.
"Come in," the mouse cried out and led them to an honored seat. "How marvelous! You have found the very place with so lovely a young girl inside." So there, two exceptional families found the other as such a magical treat. The three old mice brought together, the marvelous white mouse and the girl mouse, his worthy bride. So never fear, this is the way it comes to be. Beauty meets lovely most exceptionally.
Couldn't see the forest, it was too full of trees. I couldn't find the honey, it was hidden by the bees. Fog was all around me, I couldn't see my hands. The tide just washed away my footprints from the sand, and I tried to climb the hill, but they were so very steep. Lonely was the secret I didn't want to keep, and then I found you there, right under my nose, in the middle of the thorn bush, a perfect rose, and I love a celebration when you finally find romance. The leaves are applauding, bees are buzzing a song. The fog has disappeared and the tide just rolls along. Yes, the tide just rolls along. And I love you already. Yes, I love